Howdy y'all, welcome back to Gunsnbbq. So today, I'm going to break my silence. It's going to be a long one. So where do we start? I guess we got to start from the beginning. And that is, well, obviously there is somebody who is a regular on Amphi for almost a year now that has been gone for a little over a month or so, I think. And there's a reason for that. Now, I say I'm breaking my silence because I have not really spoken on this. I made one giant rant on one Amphi after this individual had doubled down on his comments a few days later after I asked him not to be on my show anymore, and then a little bit after that had actually asked for an apology from me. Not directly, it was on one of his live shows, which wasn't going to happen because I didn't do anything wrong. With that being said, that's why I had done that giant angry rant. I don't even remember which Amphi it was, but I just blew up on purpose. And the reason for this was, I was like, you know what? If there's any of these individuals that are still floating around out there, I don't want them on my channel. I don't want them hanging around my chats or anything else. So, with that being said, that was the only thing I mentioned. And again, I never mentioned the person by name. I just said, hey, if you're effing racist and this and that, get off my channel. I mean, like I said, I blew up on purpose, hoping that it would drive people away, which actually it didn't. I think I gained a sub after that. So, anyways, let's get down to brass tacks now. So this individual on his own live show had made a comment about diversity being death. The follow used that as a confirmation bias for him saying diversity is death, and then he went on to say the founding fathers knew what this country was supposed to be, a bunch of white European motherfuckers, end quote. And by the way, I'm sorry it sounds like jungle in here. My daughter's parakeets are going berserk. I've got chickens that are getting ready to be taken outside to the big coop soon because they're still under a heat lamp, as well as 2 ducks in the same situation. So sorry about all the wildlife noise, plus the dogs. One day I'm going to get this room completely closed up, so hopefully it cuts out the majority of that. Anyways, comments like that are just rancid and racist, and I could not have my show associated with that. Now, my show is my show. I have a bunch of people on there all the time. Some people have been there for almost every episode, such as DJ Play Nice. But at the end of the day, you should only associate my show with my views, with what I'm spewing. Anything that anybody else comes on the show and says, that's their views and opinions. If I had an anti-gunner on the show and we're talking about pro-gun versus anti-gun, that doesn't mean that I'm anti-gun and I support them. It just means I'm having a conversation with somebody that has an opposing view. So again, Almost Nightly Firearms Expo is my show, and anything that's said by guests should be considered just the view of that guest, and anything said by me should be considered the view of me and, well, the show, because unfortunately people can't differentiate sometimes. And knowing that, I still had to separate myself from this individual after them making comments like that. Now, I don't think too many people had seen those comments. I think there's only 5 people watching the live stream at the time. However, the person's live streams, I think, normally fetch 30 to 40 views on average. So I wanted to make sure that nobody that was catching those were also a regular fan of Amphi and think that I somehow support or condone language like that. Rhetoric like that is unacceptable. It's detrimental to the two-way cause, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. But so, I asked this individual to take like a 3-month hiatus from the show, and in that 3 months we'll see what happens. You know, hopefully things die down and it's kind of swept under the rug in a sense, and we'll reconvene and have him back on. Now, what I was hoping to see in this time was this person make an apology, own up to what they had said, and talk about how it was wrong. Now, I didn't tell him this. I shouldn't have to. It should have been, common sense if you didn't actually believe the things that he said. Because one thing this person kept saying is, it was just an off-the-cuff remark. Well, off-the-cuff doesn't change the fact that you made the remark and you haven't apologized for it. And the fact that you're saying it was off the cuff tells me it was probably from the heart. If you don't think about something when you say it, and it's off the cuff, doesn't mean you don't mean it. with that being said, in the coming weeks, this individual had doubled down multiple times, I think 4 times to be exact. The one time actually saying that this is what's hindering 2A, and not being able to just say what you want freely. He also said it's hinder, I think, the country, if I remember correctly. He asked for multiple apologies on his live streams. I shouldn't say asked, he demanded multiple apologies on his live streams, which wasn't going to happen because, again, I did nothing wrong. And then the final, the final nail in the coffin for this individual to ever be part of my programs again, or for me to want to associate with them again, was when they used the atrocity in New York City in the subway as another confirmation bias for their despicable rhetoric. That this just proves what they were saying a few weeks prior, as in the diversity and cultures can't get along and mesh and all this fun jazz, which, again, despicable, disgusting. So I feel that I gave this person plenty of rope to hang themselves with, and not only did they decide to not take the noose off, but they kicked out the chair themselves. So that's my take on that. Now, again, one of the things they said was, as I stated just a few moments ago, that this is something that's hindering 2A, not being able to just say what you please. And I 100% disagree. I think the diversity in 2A is its strength, and it's what makes 2A amazing. It's what makes 2A probably the greatest community to be part of in this country, no matter what the mainstream media or the left wings want you to think. It doesn't matter if you're black, brown, saltine, albino, a hobbit, which apparently we think there might be some of those on an island. Seriously, look it up. It doesn't matter. You could be whatever. This is the most accepting, the most inclusive group you could ever be part of. If you want to be part of something great, something amazing, something that includes everybody, be part of 2A. And not being able to say racist things like that are hindering 2A, that tells me that you think that people like Kevin Dixie, Rhonda Mary, Tony Simon, the Women in DC Project, Chris Chang, Aaron Paulette, Hinchcliffe, Yehuda Reamer, you think that all these people don't belong in 2A because, diversity, apparently diversity is death, right? Well, if that's what you think, then you might be the problem, because all those people strengthen 2A. All those people are doing amazing things for 2A. And let me address another thing. I love that my 2 anus, go ahead and laugh, Gunpowder Beauty, but I love that my 2 anus, as well as the regular guests on my show, their 2 anus was questioned by this individual, because apparently not tolerating rhetoric like that is less 2A than him. I don't know. Anyways, so with that being said, like I said, if you think that saying things like that is fine, then you don't think any of those individuals belong in 2A. And if that's the case, then there's a big problem, because those people make 2A stronger. They're doing more for 2A than this person has ever hoped to do, and doing more for 2A than anybody that's spitting rhetoric like that could ever do. Diversity in 2A is what will make it so we can one day defeat the NFA, defeat the GCA, the Hughes Amendment, and so many more of these that are out there. Diversity really is the strength of 2A. I want to address something else, and that is the absolute grilling this person got. One, do I agree with it? I'm going to say no. People are free to do what they want. I'm not judging them at all. I took the silent road for a reason. That's one, because I wanted to just kind of die off, but it grew into quite the firestorm. And the thing is, so many people got worried about it that I don't understand why, because oh, I had them on my show once or twice. If you're worried about having somebody on your show once or twice and they could have said something absolutely disgusting, 6 months, a year later or something like that, then you probably shouldn't have a show, because you're going to have to be monitoring everybody you ever have on. That, or be doing the show by yourself. All that were in that situation got so wrapped up in this is really beyond me. I'm not sure why. Because like I said, I had them on my show every episode for almost a year. And I was like, you know what, we'll just have them off. That will show I'm not in support of this individual anymore, and done. Now, other people took a more entertaining approach. I will give them that. I was entertained with some of the approaches of calling this individual out. But again, one of the things that bugged me was the bringing up of the channel name, because that gave people that agreed with him a place to go, and they could show solidarity, which I don't think was a smart thing to do. It gave them talking points to keep their rhetoric going. Now, I think some of these people just didn't like the individual, which fine. You don't have to like everybody. Obviously, I'm not a fan now. Likewise, I think some people had a flat-out vendetta with this individual. But I'm going to tell you what bugged me most about all of this. Because, like I said, I had this individual on my program every episode for almost a year. And, like I said, I just took the silent route, because at the end of the day, 2A was bigger and more important. And every minute that people took to blast this guy, to grill him, to whatever they felt they need to do and bring up his name and give him free publicity, was taken away from 2A. And that's what really bugged me most. So I hope that this is all done and behind us now. This will be the last time that I address it. Like I said, really it's the first time, other than that angry rant on Amphi. But yeah, this will be the last time that I address it. And like I said, I hope it's behind us, because, well, 2A is more important. We got a lot of stuff happening. We got a new rules interpretation that was just dropped on us. We've got one coming out in probably August, unless the Biden administration gets that moved up, which then, I mean, heck, we could see that next month in June. We've got a Supreme Court ruling for the New York State Pistol Rifle Association case coming out any minute. It could be this month or probably next month, but we haven't heard yet. We've got a bump stock ban case that could hopefully be going to the Supreme Court soon. There is a ton going on in 2A right now. We've got 25 states, half the country, that has adopted constitutional carry. Like I said, there's so much going on. So much better stuff to talk about. So much better stuff to focus on than this individual and disgusting comments like that. So, with that, I'm done. Please, focus on 2A, not this. Like I said, I just wanted to break my silence and be done with it. So that's my side of the story. Take it for what it's worth. If you think I'm a liar, cool. If you think I'm a saint, you're mistaken. But the one thing I do like to do is try and give both sides of the story the best I can. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later.